Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special Japanese figure showcase combining video and mini review, we're going to be looking at their 2002 Chase version of Six Turbo. So we got loads to cover in this particular video. We're going to see how he displays next to some of the other Chase versions of the Micromaster teams that were released at the same time. I'm lucky enough to have a loose and a packaged version of the original 1992 figure, so we can have a look at, I suppose, how well he looks compared to them. I can also describe to you how they were packaged, and indeed, if you don't know much about the Japanese continuity, it'll give me an opportunity, I suppose, to explain a little bit more about it. But before we get started, I need to thank Paul Hitchens at the Space Bridge, who managed to source this really rare figure for me, and of course to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. So yes, in 1992, although Hasbro had stopped making Transformers figures, Takara in Japan were still making them. It was their final year. It was known as Operation Combination. And I know you've probably seen this set before, but you'll have seen it in the 2004, one of the Unicron trilogy. I think it was the Cybertron toy line, where of course they released this as, I think it might have been as Defensor, to be fair. But this is how he originally came packaged in 1992. All Micromasters, but of course with the brilliant gimmick that the fact that they combined. As I said, the toy line was known as Operation Combination. There is the beautiful diorama with some of the other teams that, again, you've probably recognised because they've been reissued a lot later on. And as I say, that is how they came packaged there. But the other thing as well is they were always Autobots. Pretty much all of these Micromaster combining teams were Autobots. Right, I'm going to go through the names very quickly with you. Now, unfortunately, one of these is, well, you can judge for yourself if you think he's got the worst name in Generation 1. So this one's pretty cool. This one is Circuit, not to be confused with Circuit, which was the Action Master, which again came out in Europe about the same sort of time. This poor chap here, this one is called Discharge. This little police motorbike is known as Glide. Can we see that? Just about. It's really difficult with them all being black. This one's probably got the coolest name, Neo Wheel. And then we've got Road Police, and then we've got Siren. So yeah, as I say, so that's the 1992. This is the 2002, and then the version that I think that you guys will have probably seen or know the most of is this one here. That is your 2004. I've got this image from TF Wiki, by the way, guys. That's the one that I suppose that came out in the mainstream by Hasbro a good 10 plus years afterwards. Now, again, the best thing about the Japanese figures is they made everything, especially later on, because of course they did lose the die cast parts. And again, a lot of people will always argue with the fact that, you know, they did turn into big plastic bricks and much more basic, which, you know, in some cases you can't argue with that fact. But what they did was they turned lots of their figures into amazing, amazing play sets. Let me just move him out of the way very quickly, because this is all of the kibble that comes to make up the robot. And what you can do is you can take the hips, you can attach them to the torso, you can then take the blaster, you can attach this just between the knees, you can then take the fists and you can pop these at the back where you would attach the arms, like so. And then you can also take what are going to be, oh, I've just knocked that off, but you can see how easy it attaches. You can also then attach the feet to the fists like so. And I'm pretty sure you've already worked out that this is in fact another spaceship or another mode. And it's just something that was so cool. And again, they didn't have to do this. The fact that they did, that's the head, by the way, that is brilliant. That is just made up of all of the kibble like so, which you can then turn, as we've got there, into a additional figure, so we say. Right, I'm not going to use him. Let's use Glide. The reason what I'm trying to show you very quickly here is if you fold out this part here on any of the figures, there's a hole there, and of course you could use these to drive, man, pilot, whatever the word you want to do, whatever you want to use, they can fly this machine. So as I say, you had these, oh, I've just missed the hole. You had all of these little play sets, which again, it was just a brilliant little bonus. I completely keep missing it trying to reach around, but obviously you get the idea. Right, let's get this guy into the combined mode, because that's what I'm looking forward to seeing, to be fair, because I've had this, been really bad actually. I've had this, I'm sure I've had this since TF Nation, and I've just not got around to building him up. So let's separate all of these out. They do obviously need to stay together. I'm now going to bring in the original Six Turbo just because it's something to look at and to make sure that I get it correct. Right, so we need what looks to be, that's the ambulance going at the bottom. And we need, of course, this foot. So very simply, we're going to attach that to there. And if you have a look on the bottom there, funnily enough, is one of them little holes again. There is the dowel. So let's tuck that underneath and push it in securely at the same time. So press that in. I'm going to leave that resting there until we get the other one on. And then this is poor old discharge. That's going to go there. Same principle. That's got to be the worst name, I think, guys. It's got to be. I know, obviously, there's erector, which, funnily enough, is a crane. But I'm sure you'll probably agree that discharge is probably the worst. Right, we can see how he's starting to take shape. We need to take circuits. Let's have a look how they've got this. So that's going that way round. That's going to attach there. This way, rather. That's it. That's how it looks. Because, I'm just double checking because, again, I don't want to get this wrong. I also just want to build it up and then have it built up, to be honest. Right, that is going to be not that fist because that's not the correct orientation. So the correct orientation would be that way around, obviously. So let's attach this into there. Again, by that little port. Fantastic, dead easy. Let's do the same with the arm. So this is the one with a nice sort of sports car looking. Let's see if we can bend this out of the way carefully without damaging it. This is this is why I don't like doing these particular videos on figures that you're just never going to see again. That is much more difficult than it should be. Let me see if I can move the doors out of the way. No, I can't. I need to move the door. I need to get it, you can see there. So I need to split the vehicle in half. The front stays the same. It's this whole back section. Surely, if I move this forward at the waist, like so, and then this, well, it's, what am I doing? That's better. I just needed a bit of brute force, but I was really petrified in doing that, to be honest. It also looks like it's gone the other way. No, it isn't. That is the correct way. What I need to do is push this forward as well, like so. And this is going to attach. In fact, let's attach the hand in as well while we're here. This is really dark, guys. Of course, it's all black, so apologies that if it's not. I'm trying to get it right under the light so you can see that a little bit more in a minute. Let me push that in there further so that arm is going to come out. That's that bit better. Oh, and I've just knocked that off again. Typical. Let's push them in. There we go. Right, let's get on to the clever stuff then. So the police car in the front, what you need to do is fold this down. Another one. It's just super stiff and I don't like doing it. That's better. So we're going to rotate that all the way around. Then you've got the tab there. This is going to fit all the way through onto the back. Has that gone in? No, I've missed it. I'm going to look under there and I'm going to guide and line that hole up like so. Phew. There we go. The last one's really easy, to be honest. The last one's really easy. It's a bit of a cop-out. We've got that tab there. And all we're going to do is we're going to fold this back over on itself. We're going to push this here. And then it's up to you, to be fair, it's however you want to fold it in the back. How have we got this one done? This one I've folded all the way up the back, but I've seen other people who do things like this and then just pretty much cover up any space that's left there. So that's one way to do it. It's just literally going to do that. So let's now attach the head very simply to that tab around there. We've also got this, which is like a radar dish. This is going to fit into this top part like so, and of course we can then attach the gun again like so. That is so cool. That's just really cool. Let's see if I can get the light a little bit better there for you. It's just, I love the fact that they do things like this. They just went completely different with everything, you know. There you go. So there is the Six Turbos original and 2002 chase version. Then we've got, by the way, if you're wondering how they were 1 in 12 in the little boxes in Japan. So it was 1 in 12 chance of getting the completely black version of this. So there's one more set which I do have on the way. I don't want to spoil it just yet. There was one other chase set of these little Micromaster figures that I do have, and it is on the way, and it does use the 6 wing, which was later used as the Superior mold for these particular little figures. Yeah, that one's on the way. But then this one's another chase figure, but it's not a Micromaster. That one was your stealth, and it is your stealth Landcross. So yeah, all these figures that they released were originally out in Japan between, this one was 89, the original version obviously of Landcross, and then they went and released them with these later on as part of a MicroMaster toy line. There we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed looking at these. I don't have to transform him again, so I'm pleased with that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you already know what the other one's going to be, you can guess that as well. Thank you for watching. Take care.